Hello everybody, welcome to this week's edition of Valpo Basketball Weekly. Along with head coach Matt Loddick, I'm Todd Eichow. And coach, let's take a look back at what took place this past week. Did get a home victory and a kind of a typical Missouri Valley Conference game against Southern Illinois, and then kind of another typical low-scoring game. Let's start at least with the Southern Illinois game, some of the things you liked.
Well, I thought we were just tough in the game, and again, we're still trying to work some pieces back in with Ryan, and then Marcus. Marcus didn't play in that game.
Nope.
And so again, it's just been the story, and we have guys, even though they might be playing, they're playing banged up, and so just trying to get a rhythm. But Southern's a veteran team. They've been through kind of the rigors of a season with a lot of seniors, and so they know what it takes at this time of year, especially on the road. So I was pleased with our effort to pull that one out. Obviously, I didn't want it to be as close as it was,
right.
But we found a way to win, and we'll take it.
I thought the defense on a whole this past week was pretty good.
Yeah.
I even thought against Northern Iowa, down the stretch, obviously A.J. Green made a lot of plays, but for the most part, well defensed, and maybe encouraging as you hit the last week of the season is how well you defended this past week, and hopefully that carries on through and into the tournament.
Well, we're #1 defense in the league. I mean, I don't know if a lot of people know that, but our defensive efficiency, we're #1, and I think at that 5-minute mark, we were holding them to under 40%, and then they got a great player. I mean, A.J. Green at the end of that game just jumped up and hit some shots in for them and won a ball game. But that game could have gone either way. I think we had cut it to 1 a couple times and had, opportunities to score and just couldn't capitalize. And with moments like that, you've really got to start putting some pressure on the home team. You got to take the lead when you can, get them maybe a little bit tentative, and then try to hit some free throws and get some stops to close out a game.
You made a change at center, at least how you start the game with Jay Soroya. I think it's no secret, Derek is the better offensive player and Jay's the better defensive player, and you have to kind of try to figure out who to play at what time, and maybe give us an idea what goes into that, and what are you thinking as the game's going on, when to substitute and who to play maybe down the stretch as well, which is maybe most important.
Well, we look a lot at lineups, how efficient guys are together. One of the things that, you say, Derek is a better offensive player and Jay's a better defensive player. And on the surface, that's absolutely right. I mean, but there are times where certain guys play a lot better offensively when Jay's in the game. Screens well, rolls hard, seals well. Derek's more of a one-on-one offensive player. And then Jay's just tenacity, athleticism, and size. I mean, covers up for a lot on the defensive end. So I'm glad both the guys are on our team, and Derek's responded and played pretty well coming off the bench, and Jay's played pretty well in the starting lineup. We're trying to shake some things up. I mean, it has been a season of just ups and downs. Who's going to be playing this game? Who's going to be playing? Who's not going to be playing? And I think overall the guys have responded, and our ultimate goal is just to continue to get better. I think we've done that, and hopefully we can get a rhythm here. Last 2 games of the regular season going on into the conference tournament.
And I think really important, in my mind, maybe you disagree, is to get Ryan Fazekas really going. He just has, since he's come back, there's been very few opportunities to get really a lot of clean looks. And we know that's what he needs. And I know maybe he had a clean look down the stretch against Northern Iowa, but when you only get 1 real clean look a game or 2 real clean looks a game, that's not playing into his strength. And how do you do it? Well,
we've talked to Ryan. So Ryan's got to, we're setting some screens for him. He's got to, read the screens a little bit better. We've got to hold screens better. So that's the first thing. The next is they're just not helping off of them. And so, we've got to do a better job of making teams pay in other areas. And I think that'll loosen up the game. I mean, you look at, the game where he really played well in conference, right? We went down to Missouri State, and I think he hit 6 threes in that game. Might have missed his first 3-4 shots, and they were pretty hotly contested, but we were playing well offensively, and as the game went on, they had to pull over more on a roller, or they had to help on a drive, and then Ryan's out there on the interior. When they get into rotations, ball seems to find your shooter, and that's where you can get hot. Different than maybe some of the other scorers like A.J. Green. Northern Iowa, you just really have to run a high ball screen for them. That's not necessarily Ryan's game, but so we've got to be a little bit more efficient on the offensive end and continue to guard the way we've been guarding.
I think for you guys to finish in the top 6, which has got to be the goal right now, and avoid playing that 4 games in 4 days, avoid playing on Thursday, you need to beat Bradley on Wednesday. There's no question about it. And they are a team which, for whatever reason, are playing significantly better now than they were when you met them a month ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's life in the valley, right? And we haven't. I'm trying to think of a game, Todd, that, and I don't know what Bradley's gone through, but just the seasons within the seasons. I mean, when's the last time we played a game fully healthy?
Yeah, probably as close to any would have been this past Saturday.
Yeah.
But prior to that, it'd be maybe almost never this season.
Yeah, maybe almost never. And so, again, just keeping the guys, and we've had to shuffle guys into different roles and different positions and things like that. But again, if we can get this group gelling at the right time, and I think we're really close. I mean, the Southern game was good. That Northern game could have gone either way. I mean, it ended up being 11. You were there.
Right.
It wasn't an 11-point game.
Right.
So, again, getting the guys some confidence and getting rolling, because we're more than capable of winning the tournament.
All right, good luck this week.
Thank you.
For head coach Matt Loddick, this is Todd Eichel. We'll talk to you next week on Valpo Basketball Weekly.